Hello and welcome to season 2, episode 11 of Gridiron Entertainment, the official podcast where we talk about football and football only. I'm Omar.
And I'm Mo.
And today we're here with a special episode. We are sorry for the delay. Mo had work. I had work. It was just a really busy week. So, this episode is going to be jam-packed. We got a lot to cover, got a lot to talk about. First, we got to talk about Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer. He's caught under fire after a picture of him leaked at a bar with a girl. And, his wife already came out and talked about it. He did not fly back with the team after they lost to the Bengals that Thursday night football game. And this is just a big, this is huge for the Jags. Like, this is bad PR. This is bad for Urban Meyer, who potentially could be fired and never coach again. Mo, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, and also like the locker room, he doesn't have a good relationship with the locker, like the players. So yeah, like this is just turning into a disaster. I mean, I think he's gonna go and leave and go to USC.
Do you think he's actually going to get a head coaching job even after this picture surfaced and after everything that has gone on for the past week or so?
Yeah, because he's like a really good recruiter. So yeah,
I think really Urban Meyer, like he needs to get some kind of rehabilitation. You know what I mean? He needs that help because this is not a good image for him. For him to first off leave his team, like and not leave with his team after a loss. They're reeling. They're the worst team right now. They're the only team that are winless in the NFL. I know them and the Lions. Yet, they brought this guy in for a reason to turn the ship around, and so far it's like he doesn't even want to be there. So like, how long do you think Urban Meyer will be the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
a week.
A week. So after this week, you think he's going to be fired?
Yeah.
All right, most prediction right there. After the Jaguars play this week, they're going to get fired. They play the Titans this week, so we'll see how that goes for them. So, yeah. Next up, last Thursday night, the Seahawks played the Rams. We did not make our predictions for this game, but breaking news coming out today, Russell Wilson, Seahawks quarterback, is out 6 to 8 weeks with a dislocated finger. Geno Smith will be the starter for the Seahawks going forward. Mo, what are your thoughts on this injury? Obviously, when you lose a top 5 quarterback like Russell Wilson, you already know that it's going to cause huge, downward. Their play is going to fall off and everything. So, like, what do the Seahawks have to do now?
Well, first off, like this is just a really bad injury, and it's gonna break his playing streak. He has like a really insane playing streak, but like this is like a huge loss because they play in a tough division, and now they just lost their QB. So yeah.
So, who do you think the Seahawks should go after right now? Looking at the free agents that are left right now, do you think it's time for the Seahawks to sign a familiar face that we want back in the NFL? Do you think they should actually go for it?
Yes, Cam.
I think they need to get Cam Newton. Look, I know the Seahawks offensive line is not the best, but Cam Newton, him and Russ are similar, except Cam is more of like, he's 6'5", he's a big athlete, but he'll learn the Seahawks offense. He'll understand it. He'll have good players around him, which is something like he never really had great receivers around him, like for most of his career. So I really do think, they should go after him. I don't really know any other quarterbacks they can go for. They could probably trade for somebody. I just don't know who they should trade for. But yeah, this is huge for the Seahawks. When you lose a top 5 quarterback like Russ, it's going to throw all your championship aspirations out the window. So, hopefully the Seahawks can find a way to build around. If they don't sign a quarterback and they go with Geno Smith, that's what they want to do. But if that's what they're going to do, you might as well just tank for a better pick, in my opinion, just because, 6 to 8 weeks is a long time. That's 2 months. And, the Seahawks could be out of the playoffs.
Well, this could potentially be Russell Wilson's last game as a Seattle Seahawk.
As you know, Russell Wilson did talk about his frustrations with the organization this past offseason, saying that he would rather play for the Raiders or for the Bears, but those trades did not happen. And Russell Wilson is on thin ice right now. He does want out. If the Seahawks are not going to contend for a Super Bowl, he wants out. He wants to go somewhere else. So we'll see what happens with Russ, but this is a big loss for the Seahawks going forward. I really don't know how they're going to compete in that tough division going forward. Next up, we got to talk about the Raiders. So Raiders head coach John Gruden caught under fire after email from 2011 uses a racist trope to describe NFLPA executive director DeMaurice Smith. Now, the Raiders have already gone into the investigation. They're going to look into it. But yeah, the email was very derogatory. It was very, offensive. It did not need to be there. Mo, do you think there's going to be any disciplinary action taken on the Raiders head coach John Gruden?
Well, I mean, it's kind of messed up, but I mean, it was a long time ago, but like, still, like, it's messed up. Like, you shouldn't say that. Racism is not right.
Do you think he's going to get any like a suspension or a fine? I'm thinking that he's probably going to get a fine for this. I don't think a suspension is going to come out of this.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid if he does.
Yeah, I just don't know what made John Gruden do that. I don't know what caught him under fire. He wasn't even coaching at the time in 2011. I think he was still like doing Monday Night Football.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going to happen to John Gruden. We'll keep you guys updated as we go, but this is brand new news that dropped earlier today. Next up, 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is officially out for Sunday's game versus Arizona, and rookie Trey Lance will make his first start, his debut with the 49ers. Mo, how do you think Trey Lance will do in his debut this Sunday?
Well, they're playing like the Cardinals, so like they're a very good team. So, I mean, he could do good, but I don't think they're gonna get the win.
I don't think they're going to get the win, but I think Trey Lance is going to have a great game. I think like his offense is so stacked. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, like the offense is good. The offense is ready. He can take over the reins right now. So Jimmy Garoppolo did not practice. He has not been practicing for the past 2 days. So that means Trey Lance will take over. And I think that, it's going to be hard for him to fail considering that offense is really good in San Francisco. So I think that, will they get the win? I don't think so. But I think Trey Lance is going to, light it up on Sunday. I think he's going to do a really good job against the Cardinals. And I think he's ready to go. Do you think he's ready?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's been waiting for this for a long time. There's a reason why the Niners made him a top 3 pick in this year's draft. I think he's ready to take the league by storm. Next up, former Cowboys linebacker Jaylon Smith reaches a 1-year deal to join the Green Bay Packers. The Packers have been suffering a few injuries on the defense, and now he's officially a Green Bay Packer. Mo, what are your thoughts on this as a Packers fan? Like, how do you think Jaylon Smith is going to contribute to the defense?
Well, I mean, this is a big improvement on linebacker, so we'll see how he does in the system. But I think he'll do like solid.
We're reading the issues as to why Jaylon Smith was cut, and they're saying that from my friends that I've talked to, they're saying that he wasn't really a fit in the defense. How do you think he'll fit the scheme that the Packers are running in Green Bay?
Like he used to be a Pro Bowler, so he's a very solid player. So I think he will fit like whether it'll be rushing or coverage, like we'll have to see. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, Packers got a linebacker. I think is a position of need. Darius Smith is out, and they could use the depth. I think Jaylon Smith is going to fit right in. He's going to do a great job. Surprising cut by Dallas, considering he was a Pro Bowler, but I guess it was just a scheme fit that just wasn't for him. So that's why I guess they parted ways. So yeah, we'll see how he does. Is he playing this week or is he not playing this week? I don't think he's going to play this week.
I don't think so.
So we'll see when Jaylon Smith plays. I don't think he's going to play this Sunday, but when he does get on the field, I'm pretty sure he's going to do great things for them. Next up, cornerback, Pro Bowl corner Stephon Gilmore officially traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 5th-round pick. Was it a 5th-round pick? I think it was a 5th-round pick.
Yes. No, yeah, in 2023.
Yeah. The Panthers completely they fleeced the Patriots. He will not play until week 7 against the Giants, but the Panthers, I've seen their secondary, they're so stacked where it is.
And Jeremy Chin isn't even playing. So wait till he comes back.
Right. I mean, they lost J.C. Horn early this year. Then they traded for C.J. Henderson. Now they traded for Stephon Gilmore. Do you think the Panthers could have one of the best secondaries in the league?
Yes.
Yeah, but I just can't believe they have so many assets to trade away. They're just doing this. They really want to improve that defense. They really just want to make that secondary a lot better so no one can throw on them. But yeah, Panthers, one of the more the young up and coming defenses in the league. They're already taking the league by storm. I know they had a loss against the Cowboys, but they did fight in that game. But when you play against Dak Prescott, I mean, that's just a tough game. You know what I mean? It's just going to be tough. Yeah. And let's get started with our games that we're recapping. So we're going to do 2 games instead of 3 this week because we're on a tight schedule. The first game we're going to recap is the Cowboys taking on the Panthers. This was a great game. It was one of the more underrated games this past weekend. Looking at it, the Cowboys won 36-28. It was a great game going in. Ezekiel Elliott, I think he came back to life. I'm happy to see that. Let's look at the stats. Sam Darnold, 26 of 39, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He got sacked 5 times for 35 yards. Dak Prescott, 14 of 22, 188 yards, 4 touchdowns, QBR of 88.3. He had a phenomenal game. Did not have to throw the ball too much, 22 attempts. Usually he's throwing like around 40 to 60 attempts. He threw 22, which is great.
They ran more than they passed,
which is fantastic. That's good for them. We're looking at the run game. Chuba Hubbard, 13 carries, 57 yards, no touchdowns. Sam Darnold, 6 carries, 35 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott came back to form, 20 carries, 143 yards, 1 touchdown. Tony Pollard, 10 carries, 67 yards, averaging 6.7 yards a carry. Looking at the receiving, I mean, you got to give it up to DJ Moore. DJ Moore led the whole game in receivings. He led the Panthers in receivings, 8 receptions, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, three receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown for the Cowboys. And Dalton Schultz, six receptions, 58 yards, 1 touchdown. Cedric Wilson, 2 receptions, 30 yards, and a touchdown. And Blake Jarwin, 1 reception, 18 yards, and a touchdown. Just all the receivers eating besides CeeDee Lamb, who only got 2 receptions for 13 yards on 5 targets. But yeah, and looking at the rest of the game, I mean, you're looking at the time of possession for them. The Panthers had the ball for 33 minutes and 36 seconds. The Cowboys had it for 26 minutes and 24 seconds. The Panthers had 2 costly turnovers that did bite them in the end, and Dallas led the game, 433 receiving yards for total yards for them, and the Panthers 379 yards for them, and they both tied in first downs. Great game by the Cowboys. They move up to 3-1. They are looking really hot right now. We'll see how they do next week. Next up, we got the Giants, who took on the Saints. Mo, I want you to take it away.
Yeah, so Giants and the Saints, Giants who were winless prior to this game. I'm pretty sure everyone thought that the Saints were gonna get this one easily, but the Giants went and came from behind and upset them in overtime. Saquon Barkley got the clutch touchdown to win the game. Daniel Jones had 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Winston had 226 yards for only 1 touchdown. Alvin Kamara went absolutely off. He got 120 yards. He did get no touchdowns. Taysom Hill got 2 touchdowns, which is surprising. And yeah, this is just a surprise. Kenny Galladay got 116 yards off 6 receptions. And Kadarius Toney got 78 yards. And I mean, yeah, the Giants just played better on offense. They got 400 yards on offense. And New Orleans had the time possession for 37 minutes compared to the Giants 27. And this is just an offensive game, Giants had 485 total yards. The Saints had 405 total yards. Both tied for first downs with 21, and both had 1 turnover.
Great game overall, 27-21. The Giants finally getting a win on the year, their first win of the season. They are not winless anymore. Next game I'm going to recap. I'm going to take it from here. We got the Bucs traveling to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. Tom Brady is back, but in a different uniform. He had a great game. This game was low scoring from beginning to end. I mean, 19-17 was the final score. Tom Brady was 22 of 43 for 269 yards, no touchdowns thrown, no interceptions thrown. Mac Jones had a great game against Tom Brady, 31 of 40, 275, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Looking at the run game, Leonard Fournette got the ball, 20 carries for 92 yards and no touchdowns. Ronald Jones got the ball, 6 carries, 25, and a touchdown. And looking at the run game for the Patriots, it was just non-existent. The worst.
-1.
They all totaled -1 yards on the game, 8 carries for -1 yards. The run game did not work. Looking at receiving for the Bucs, Mike Evans led in receiving, 7 receptions for 75 yards. Then Antonio Brown, 7 receptions for 63 yards. No receiving touchdowns for anyone here. Looking at New England's receiving, Kobe Myers led in receptions, and he led with 70 yards, no touchdowns. Looking at the players that scored touchdowns, Hunter Henry, 4 receptions, 32 yards and a touchdown. Jaylon Smith, 3 receptions, 14 yards and a touchdown. Looking at the rest of the game, I mean, the the Bucs had more yards, 381 yards to New England's 294. Looking at the time of possession, the Bucs won in that 33 minutes and 55 seconds to New England's 26 minutes and 5 seconds. The New England had more turnovers, 2 costly turnovers that, messed up their chances to win in the end. Tampa Bay had more first downs in New England, only by 2, 22 for Tampa Bay and 20 for New England. And to add on to that, Nick Folk missed a game-winning 55-yard field goal that could have had New England winning against Tom Brady and preventing Tom Brady from beating every single team in the NFL. But that did not happen. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers escaped Foxborough with a 19-17 win. And the last game we're going to recap is the Steelers traveling to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Mo, take it away.
So, people saying like that blocked punt or field goal was not offsides, which I disagree. I think it was offsides if you look at it. So I don't know what people are talking about there.
That was offsides.
Shut up, idiot. Anyway, Ben Roethlisberger, he had 26 catches or
completions
for 40 attempts for 232 yards, which I mean he threw only 232 yards on 26 completions, and he averaged 6 yards per throw, and he had 1 touchdown. And Najee Harris got 15 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson was the highlight in the receiving, 92 yards for 1 touchdown and 9 catches. On the Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, 20 for 36, 248 yards, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones both had 15 carries. A.J. Dillon had 81 yards, while Aaron Jones had 48. Randall Cobb gets he got 2 touchdowns in this game. Devontae Adams was 64 yards. Green Bay had 367 total yards compared to Pittsburgh 282. Pittsburgh had 2 turnovers. Green Bay had 1. And Green Bay had the time of possession for 34 minutes compared to the Steelers 25. And Green Bay had 23 first downs. Pittsburgh had 17.
All right. And looking at it, the Pittsburgh Steelers fall to 1-3, with the Packers moving on to 3-1. After losing that game to the Saints, everything has just been up for the Packers. They have been firing on all cylinders. Aaron Rodgers is looking like he's going to win another MVP, and he's just looking great. Moving on now, we're going to get into our Week 5 predictions. Okay, so I missed the first game. I didn't make the pick for the first game. I missed it, but I would have picked the Rams to win, and the Rams did win. They beat the Seahawks 26-17. Next up, first game we got the Jets traveling to London. Both teams traveling to London. 9:30 kickoff, 9:30 Eastern kickoff. The Jets 1-3 taking on the Falcons 1-3. Falcons are coming off a loss against the Washington football team. The Jets are coming off a win against the Tennessee Titans. Mo, who do you got?
I got the Falcons. Yeah, I think the Falcons, they're gonna win this because it's the easy opponent. The Jets, they're like probably one of the worst teams in the league. Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Falcons too. I mean, they had it. They just choked it again like they always do. I don't know what it is with the Falcons, but they just find a way to screw up in the end. The Jets are coming off a big win. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was a big win for them. They beat the Titans, but the Titans were shorthanded. I know Zach Wilson had a great game. He played really good in front of his home team. But yeah, like, I think I got the Falcons in this. I think this game's going to be close. It's going to come down to the wire. I think the Jets are just a little bit too high on their win. But I think the Falcons are going to find a way to persevere. And the Falcons are a 2.5-point favorite going into this game. So we'll see how they do at 9:30 kickoff if you want to watch some football from London. Next up, we got the Packers traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Packers beat the Steelers last week, and last Thursday night, the Bengals beat the Jaguars. The Packers are a 3-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
I got the Packers. I mean, I think this will be a good game because the Bengals are very underrated. I think they are like a competitors in the AFC North. But with that being said, like the Packers, they're just on fire since that loss. So yeah, I give it the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Packers in this one as well. Also, to follow up, Joe Mixon might not play this week. So that's going to be a big factor for the Bengals offense. I really do like what the Bengals are doing. Joe Burrow is looking like the franchise quarterback for their team. He's looking fantastic. I think the Packers, they're just on fire right now. They're hitting on all cylinders. Aaron Rodgers is playing great football right now. You know, and they showed it against the Steelers. I really do like this Green Bay Packers team going forward. They look like they're a lock to win their division anyway. I just feel like they're the best team, and just no one it just comes close to them at all. So and they just signed Jaylon Smith, so we'll see how he does in that defense. If he does play this week, if he doesn't, then next week. But yeah, I think I think the Packers should be able to win this game. I think they look really good. They're solid. The Bengals do too. But I think this game's going to come down to the wire. There's a reason why the Packers are only a 3-point favorite going into this game. So give me the Packers on this one. Next up, we got the Lions traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings are a 10-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
I got the Vikings easily. I mean, the Lions, they are probably the worst team in the league. They are terrible. And, the Vikings, they've had unfortunate losses, but deservedly so because I hate the Vikings. So, yeah, I do think the Vikings are going to win.
Yeah, I got the Vikings as well. I think their team is just way too good on paper. I know that they've lost some heartbreakers. They've lost some really close games. They lost to the Browns 14-7 last week in a close game. I just think that the offense just did not click at all that week. I don't know what was up with them that week, but I think that they should be able to bounce back. The Lions are one of the worst teams in the league. We saw that last week against Chicago. They did not play up to par. I think that the Vikings, they're really good on offense. I think they have a solid defense. The defense did a good job against the Browns for the most part. And I really do think that the Vikings are probably the best 1-3 team in the league. So there's that as well. And they're at home. They're back at home again. And I think that Kirk Cousins, he had an off game. I think he's gonna prove him wrong. He's gonna have a great game going into this. So yeah, give me the Minnesota, and I'll take that line by 10. Next up, we got the Broncos traveling to Heinz Field to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Broncos are a 1-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
This is gonna be a close game, but I think I think this I think the Steelers are gonna win. The reason being is I feel like the Broncos aren't all that. Their record is does not really say much about their team. They haven't played anyone until the Ravens, and they lost. So yeah, I think the Steelers. This is gonna be like their bounce back game. Yeah, and it's in Heinz Field. So
Okay. Yeah, this was a tough one. I mean, I don't know if Teddy Bridgewater is going to come back this week. If he is, then I think the Broncos are going to win. If he doesn't, then definitely going to pick the Steelers. But I think I'm going to go with the Broncos on this one. I just don't like what the Steelers are doing on offense. I don't trust Big Ben's health at this point. He is just not it. He is really holding them back. I know their offensive line is also very young, but you can't really put all the blame on the line. Ben Roethlisberger has great weapons to throw to. He has a great running back of the future in Najee Harris. I just don't know what they're drawing, what's going on. I think he's just up there in age. I think the injuries are starting to pile up. The elbow injury he got in 2019 really did mess him up. I think he's playing a big factor right now. The Broncos, they played the Ravens. They played a team that was competitive. I think right now, they want to just show the league that they're able to compete with the best. And I think that if they do win this game, it's just going to do wonders for them. It's going to give them great momentum in the AFC West. I think it's going to help them out a lot. So yeah, give me the Broncos, and I'm going to take it out 1-point line because I think this game's going to be closer than what people think. I think it's going to come down to the wire. Next up, we got the Dolphins traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are a 10-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
The Bucs easily. Dolphins, they do not have Tua, so that offense is going to struggle, especially with a defense like the Bucs. And yeah, I think it's just an easy one. This is just a no-brainer.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucs as well. I don't think the Dolphins. I feel like they're just lost with no quarterback. They did not make the right decision in picking Tua. They got Jacoby Brissett right now playing. Now, the offense for the Dolphins is really good. I just don't know what's going on. I just don't think the quarterback is in the right position to succeed. Obviously, with the Bucs, you got Tom Brady, you got Leonard Fournette, you got Chris Godwin, you got Mike Evans, you got Antonio Brown, you got so many weapons on that offense, and their run defense is just phenomenal. I think that they didn't score a lot of points against New England, and I think they're going to change that. I think the Bucs are going to go crazy against the Dolphins this week. And 10-point favorite, I think they want to score a lot. They want to win by a lot this week, and I think that they will. So yeah, give me that line. Give me that Tampa by 10. I'll take that any day of the week. Next up, we got the Saints traveling to Landover to take on the Washington football team. The Saints are a 2.5-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
I think Washington is gonna win. Their defense has struggled, but I do think they're gonna bring pressure to Jameis Winston. And I think this is a must win for both teams. Both teams win this game. But I do think Washington is gonna edge this one out barely.
You know what? I was actually thinking about picking the Saints, but after the way the Saints played last week, I just did not enjoy what they did. I feel like they're not giving the Kamara the ball that much. I feel like they're not targeting that much in the passing game. And that's just been a big factor for them. They're just not playing great. The Saints are like Jekyll and Hyde. They're just been like win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. That's just how it's been for them. I think with Washington, I think with Taylor Heineke, I think he's starting to get comfortable a little bit. I know their defense is really abysmal. Like it is not that great, but I think that the Washington football team, they got a lot to prove. If they can just get the ship sailing on defense, they got this. I think they're going to be just fine. Also, I'll take that line. I think Washington's going to cover this game. I think that it's going to come down to the wire, but I believe in Washington. I like Taylor Heineke a lot. I think that he's going to find a way to clutch it for Washington, and they're going to find a way to win. So yeah, give me Washington in this game, and a very close game. It's going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Eagles traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The Panthers are a 3-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
I got the Panthers. They just made their team a lot better with adding Stephon Gilmore, and I think Sam Darnold's been playing excellent. One issue is that Christian McCaffrey is doubtful, so we're gonna have to see his status. But other than that, I do think the Panthers are gonna win against an Eagles team that's not really good, except Jalen Hurts.
I agree with you. I'm going to go with the Panthers in this one. Obviously, not having Christian McCaffrey is a big loss in the run game because they do really miss it, especially with how it went last Sunday against Dallas. But I really do think this Panthers team, they still got a lot. Sam Darnold is doing great things for them. DJ Moore is phenomenal talent. And their defense has just got a lot better with adding Stephon Gilmore. The problem with the Eagles is that they literally do not run the ball. They have Miles Sanders and they don't run the ball. All they're doing is just throwing it with Jalen Hurts, and he's the one that's running around. And I just don't understand why the Eagles don't run the ball more. I don't understand why they don't do it. It's why they're losing these games. Is why they're not doing so well. I think that I think the Panthers are going to do their thing. I think they're going to bounce back this week. They're playing at home. I think that this is going to be a great win for them. They're able to clutch it out, and they'll be able to move up to 4-1. Which is great for them because they're competing in the NFC South right now. They're going to be a one step ahead of the Saints and the Falcons, which is fantastic for them. I really do like the Panthers this year. They're one of the more fun teams to watch. They're very young. They're really fun to watch. I think that they have a bright future ahead of them if they just keep playing at this pace and everyone stays healthy. I think that the Panthers in the next year or so, I think they're going to take the leap and become Super Bowl contenders. So yeah, give me the Panthers in this game. I think they're going to win this, or they're going to edge it out. Next up, we got the Titans traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. The Titans are a 4.5-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
The Titans easily. The Jaguars right now, as we discussed earlier in the show, are a dumpster fire. The relationship with Urban Meyer is just deteriorating. And yeah, I know AJ Brown and Julio are hurt, but I still got the Titans winning.
Yeah, me too. I think I got the Titans winning in this one. The Jacksonville Jaguars have a lot of issues. There's a lot of team dysfunction going on, especially with Urban Meyer, who was caught at the bar, as we stated earlier on the show. It was just not a good look for him. He did not stay with the team. He did not travel back with the team, which means that, it just shows that he does not care for the Jaguars, nor does he want to be there. I don't know what the mind state is right now of the players. I just know that they don't want to play for him right now. They'd rather not play for him as a coach. There's a lot of team dysfunction. The Titans, obviously, they lost to the Jets. It was a big loss, but I think that they're just a lot better than they are. They're more talented than they are. I know they don't have Julio Jones this week or AJ Brown, but I know that they're going to find a way to win this. They're a lot better than the Jaguars on every, point of the, every position. They're better than them. And I think that the Titans are going to find a way to win. They're going to bounce back, and I think they're going to win. 4.5-point favorite does make sense considering that they're injured at a lot of places. So yeah, give me the Titans in this one.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Patriots traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. The Patriots are an 8-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
I got the Patriots. The Texans, dude, they are bad. They are a terrible team. So I mean, I do think Mac Jones, he's probably the best rookie QB playing right now, and he had a good game last week. And yeah, I don't see the Patriots losing this game.
Yeah, me neither. I think the Texans are just really bad everywhere. Like their team is just so watered down. There's a lot of issues with Sean Watson going on. They have Davis Mills playing at quarterback, who is an unproven rookie. They have running backs that are old and they just can't run the ball. Their offensive line is still really bad. Overall, they're still really bad at a lot of positions. I just think that this Texans team is going full rebuild right now. And, I just think that the Patriots, I think Mac Jones is better than what people think he is. I think they're 1-3, but, they lost a close game against the Bucs. I think that if you can just get the offense going, they'll be able to win games. Mac Jones is starting to get comfortable. He will make that leap. You just got to be patient with him. But yeah, I think that the Patriots are just a little bit better than the Texans. The Texans are just not there this year. So yeah, give me the Patriots. I mean, they're an 8-point favorite, and I think that they're going to win by at least a touchdown, in my opinion. So yeah, give me the Patriots on this one. Moving into our 3 o'clock games, we got the Chicago Bears traveling to Vegas to take on the Raiders. The Raiders are a 5.5-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
I got the Raiders. Justin Fields still unproven, so we can't really say much about him. So I mean the Raiders, they did have an unfortunate a bad loss against the Chargers. They were making a comeback, but it was too little, too late. But I do think they're gonna bounce back, and I do think they're a good team.
Yeah. Okay. I thought about this too. I was gonna be like, I might pick the Bears, but then I realized, oh wait, David Montgomery is out 4 to 5 weeks with the injury. That's another thing we didn't mention. David Montgomery is out for about a month with a hyperextended knee. So you know what? I'm gonna also pick the Raiders. I think that the Bears are just very, very dysfunctional. I just think that with Matt Nagy there, he's just not it. He just cannot do anything. Justin Fields just left out there with a terrible offensive line. I feel bad for Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney. They don't deserve this. The Bears defense is obviously still, they're a decent defense. They got a good unit. Khalil Mack, when you have Khalil Mack, you're going to be great anyway. But I just think this Raiders team, obviously they lost a big game against the Chargers, but it's the Chargers and, they're a young upcoming team with Justin Herbert. The Raiders could not do anything against that Chargers offense all night on Monday Night Football. But yeah, I think that the Raiders are just a little bit better than they are. Josh Jacobs is fully healthy coming back, and I think they're going to bounce back in front of the fans. So yeah, give me the Raiders in this one. I just don't trust the Chicago Bears. They're coming off a win, but they beat the Lions. Like, who cares, So yeah, give me the Raiders in this one. I think the Raiders are going to be able to win this game comfortably. Next up, we got the Browns traveling to SoFi to take on the Chargers. The Chargers are a 2-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
This is probably gonna be the best game of the day, other than the Bills and Chiefs. But I do have the Chargers winning this in a close one. I do think this is gonna be a great game. But the Chargers, they are on a roll right now. They're Justin Herbert is just dominating. And yeah, they're looking good. I got the Chargers.
Yeah, I got the Chargers as well. I love Justin Herbert and that offense. I think they're doing great things. Brand Staley is a great coach. Like he has really helped that Chargers team take them to the next level. They're winning games they should win. You know what I mean? Yeah, they have one loss on their record, but I mean, the way they're playing right now with Justin Herbert at the helm, I mean, he's just playing great football right now. The Browns, obviously, I like what the Browns are doing. Their defense is playing great football. The run game is phenomenal. I just have issues with Baker Mayfield. He hurt his shoulder. He hurt his labrum, and he's been playing on it. He's going to play on it. That worries me because if they're not going to throw the ball a lot, they're just going to stack the box and just stop Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb the whole time. We'll see what happens with that. But I think the Chargers, they're just feeling themselves right now. They're one of the best teams in the AFC. They're trying to stake their claim right now in that division, in that conference. But and they're just playing great. Like their defense has been playing a lot better. They got Derwin James back, who's been all over the field. He just everywhere, everywhere. He's just everywhere and anywhere. Like anywhere, it's just crazy. At the end of the play, he's just there. So, I just think that the Chargers are just way too good right now. They're on fire. I think that they're going to end the Cleveland Browns streak. It's going to be a very good game, like Mo said. I think it's going to be like one of the best games of Sunday. So yeah, give me the Chargers in this one. They're a 2-point favorite going into this game, and I think it's going to be that way. I think they're going to win by 2. So yeah, give me the Chargers on this one. Next up, we got the Giants traveling to Arlington, Texas to take on the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a 7-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
I got the Cowboys easily. Dak has just been playing lights out, and the Giants, they have been struggling. They I mean, they did get their first win finally, but it should have been a way sooner, or yeah, way earlier than now. So I mean, but the Cowboys, they're just on a roll. Trevon Diggs has gotten an interception in every game so far this season. So yeah, that's someone on the defense who's playing crazy. So yeah, with the Cowboys.
I got the Cowboys as well. Dak Prescott is really playing good, but also the run game is picking up. Ezekiel Elliott had a great game last Sunday against the Panthers. He played lights out. It's like the Zeke from his rookie year is finally back. So it feels really good to see. The Giants, obviously, they're coming off a big overtime win against the Saints. Saquon Barkley scored a game-winning touchdown, which is great to see. I'm just happy to see that. But I think Dallas are just on a whole different level than the Giants. I think they're way more talented than they are. And plus, when you have Dak, you really can't doubt him. He's going to do what it takes to win no matter what. And I just think that Dallas, they're just on fire. They're trying to prove to the NFC that they're contenders. They're playing like contenders. Trayvon Diggs, like Mo said, he's had an interception in every game, which is great. I'm happy that they actually have a defensive player that's doing really good things for them, because their defense has been abysmal for the past few years. So it was really good to see that. And I just think that Dallas is just on a whole another level. So yeah, give me the Cowboys in this one. Sad to say, because I don't really like the Cowboys. But yeah, they're a 7-point favorite, and I think they're going to win this game comfortably. I just think that they're just way better than the Giants. Next up, we got the Niners traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a 5-point favorite going into this game. The Niners are starting Trey Lance at quarterback. Mo, who do you got?
I have the Cardinals, rookie QB playing his first start. So I don't know. And plus, they're playing like probably one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team right now. So yeah, I have the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, he's just been playing like an MVP. He's just been killing it. He has 9 touchdowns on the year. So yeah, and with D Hop, just give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take the Cardinals as well. I really like. I don't hate the Niners either. I think the Niners are a good team. I just think Trey Lance has to get comfortable. And also the Niners secondary is not the best. They're not really great. You saw Aaron Rodgers last week. We saw Aaron Rodgers on Sunday Night Football. He just dotted everyone up. Not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, he just dotted everyone up, was able to drive down the field and kick the game-winning field goal. And that's like one of the problems with the Niners. Everywhere else they're fine on defense, but their secondary, it's just not it. Jimmy Garoppolo is obviously out. Their offensive line still decent. The receivers are still really good. I just think Trey Lance has to get comfortable. But the Cardinals are just on a whole different level right now. They're on fire. They're playing really good football. They're hitting on all cylinders. They beat the Rams last week, which is crazy. They beat the Rams. They beat the team that we thought was one of the best teams in the NFC, and then they just go in and beat the Rams.
Yep.
So, I mean, you really can't go wrong with this Cardinals team. I really think they're playing great football right now. I think they're going to keep doing what they're doing. A 5-point favorite going into this game, I think is going to be a very close game. These NFC West battles always come down to the wire. So, yeah, give me the Cardinals in this one. It's going to be a really close game. Moving on to our Sunday night game, we got the Bills traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
I got the Chiefs. This is gonna be an amazing game, but I do think the Chiefs have had a very rough start to the season. But Mahomes has 14 touchdowns on a year. He's been killing it. It is an Arrowhead Stadium, so it's gonna be in Kansas City. So I think the Chiefs are gonna edge this one out. But the Bills, they could win. They have Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. They got weapons.
Yeah, I'm gonna go another way. I'm gonna go with the Bills in this one. I think the Bills are probably the best team in the AFC right now. I know the Chiefs, like you said, they had a rough patch. They had a rough start going into this, and they're starting to pick it up now. They're starting to pick it up. They beat the Eagles last week, but still, it's the Eagles, and the Bills defense has been playing lights out, playing really good. I know the Bills didn't really play great teams either, but still, I just think that the Bills right now. Josh Allen's playing great football with Diggs. He's playing great football as well. This game's going to be a very high scoring, in my opinion. I think this game's going to be a very high scoring game. It's going to be one of the 2 best games going into this weekend. Well, actually, there's a lot of good games going into this weekend. The top 3 games this weekend they look great. I think that the Bills, I think that they're just playing great football. I think the Chiefs, they really don't like the Chiefs secondary. I hate it so much. It's not that good. Besides Tyrann Mathieu, it's not that good. And, I just think that Josh Allen's just going to dot him up all night. I think he's going to find his way around them. He's going to find those gaps and just throw to the wide open receivers and everything. And I just think the Bills are just on a whole different level. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be like, they're probably going to win by a game-winning field goal, in my opinion. It's going to be a one-possession game come down to the wire. So give me the Bills on this one. It's going to be close. Kansas City is a 2.5-point favorite. I see why they're at home. So it can go either way. But yeah, I got the Bills on this one. And our last game, moving into Monday Night Football, we got the Colts traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The Ravens are a 7-point favorite going into this game. Mo, who do you got?
I got the Ravens. I mean, they've made their bounce back. They lost to the Raiders weirdly. I don't know how they lost, but they're on a streak now. They're on a 3-game win streak, beating the Chiefs. They just beat the Broncos. Lamar, he's been playing solid. I mean, he does only have 4 touchdowns on the year, but he is leading Baltimore in rushing as well. So, and the Colts, I haven't been following them that much, but they are 1-3, but we'll see how it goes. But I got the Ravens.
Yeah, I got the Ravens as well. The Colts are coming off a win against the Dolphins, but the Dolphins didn't really have a healthy team. They were playing against Jacoby Brissett. Carson Wentz still really scares me. Jonathan Taylor, I feel like they got to give him the ball more. And he had a great game, and they should just keep giving him the ball, even against the Ravens run defense. That's really good. I really just think you got to hand him the rock. The Colts defense, their secondary is not really that fantastic. They have not been playing great all year. I don't know what's been going on with them. If Lamar can just pick apart that secondary, I think, and Hollywood Brown doesn't drop any passes, I think that they're going to do well in the passing game. I've been noticing in the past few weeks that the Ravens have been throwing the ball a little bit more than running it, which is really different. You really expect them to run the ball more than throw it, but they're actually using their receivers a lot more, which is great to see. I really like that balance. I like Lamar throwing the football. I think it's just going to do great for him instead of him using his legs all the time. And yeah, this Ravens defense, the Ravens have suffered injuries all year, but it looks like they've sailed the ship. They look like they got everything under control. So yeah, I think the Ravens should win this game. I really just don't trust this Colts team going forward. And yeah, I got the Ravens in this one. They're a 7-point favorite. I think it's going to come down closer. I think it's going to be a bit closer than people think. I don't think that the Ravens are going to win by 7. So yeah, give me the Ravens in this one and a good Monday Night Football game to end off week 5. And that is all we have for this week's episode of Gridiron Entertainment. Please listen to us on Spotify, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And until next time, I'm Omar.
And I'm Mo.
We will see you guys next episode where we will do our college football episode.